Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. My friends of the interwebs. Swiss Army. I love these knives. If you've been with me a long time, you know I have a ton of knives. And the simpler ones are the ones I like the best. The case knives, this is a Victorinox. And yeah, I think, Victorinox. Yeah, awesome. So, I'm going to open up this Bitcoin miner, this Bitmain Antminer S19K PRO. Been a long time since I opened a box. So hopefully I don't now. Always cut towards you. Now, do not take advice from me when it comes to cutting. Trust me. If you remember, I cut my thumb off. I can still remember seeing that thing flying through the air. Unbelievable. All right, let's see what we got. Let me cut this down here. So I'm in my furnace room, and I'm gonna set up the furnace room as a little mining farm, if you will. And there's reasons for that. Now, one thing I will tell you from my limited experience in Bitcoin mining, or I just call it crypto mining because I think that's a little bit more accurate, although I will be primarily mining Bitcoin for now. The one thing that I've learned from mining Bitcoin with the S9 is that it puts out a fair amount of heat. Now, the S9 is not crazy. I kind of like, somebody asked me one time what it was like, and I said, kind of like a hair dryer that you have on hot, blowing it high. So what it sounds like, you put your hand behind the S9, because the fan, there's a fan that sucks air in, fan that sucks air out. When you put your hand behind the S9, you feel the temperature. It's warm. It's not crazy hot. You're not going to be able to cook an egg. I've seen some videos where people were doing that on the KSO Pros, they're Caspa miners. But it won't do that, but it will definitely warm up your room in time. This miner is a lot more powerful than the S9, and I'm anticipating a lot more heat. So, have this here next to the furnace, and I'm going to, well, at least we'll see how this works out. You can go along with me on this. The concept is to vent the miner into the furnace and let it circulate through my house. Yeah, there you go. So, first thing I notice on this is some instructions, the Antminer instructions, and I believe it's done in several different languages. People are mining Bitcoin literally all over the world. So I don't know that these are as much instructions as they are. Like, here's safety, important safety information. I did hear something kind of disturbing. I watch a lot of Bitcoin miner channels. People who do this, some of them are hobbyists, some of them are very high-level hobbyists and borderline commercial Bitcoin farms. And one of the guys said, I think we all worry about burning our houses down. I don't know. Now, this is going to have to, I've got a guy coming over later today, and he's going to wire 220 back into this room because this machine will only run on 220. Now, the Antminer S9, I could plug right into my home outlet, which, when I got that, and I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. The reason I got that S9 is an antiquated 7-year-old technology. The reason I got that was because it was really recommended as a great entry-level Bitcoin miner to teach you the process of mining Bitcoin. And one of the bonuses was you could plug it right into a 120 outlet, your house, regular house outlet. Same outlet you would plug your TV into. You could do that. This is not capable of that. This is a wholly different animal. Okay, now I'm glad to see this because the box was, to be honest, dented up a bit. Which, I mean, not crazy. I've seen worse deliveries, that's for sure. But the thing of it is that this is, this is a sensitive piece of computing equipment. Well, like if you were to buy a desktop computer or any kind of computer, you really wouldn't want to see it come with the box all messed up. I want to tilt this up here so you can see. Okay. Right here. It's kind of weird because I've seen so many of these S19s on various channels that I've watched, and the truth is, it looks smaller. It does. It looks smaller. Let me see if I can pull this out from here. I'll tell you one thing though. Size put aside. Let me just throw this box out there. There we go. This thing's kind of heavy. It's heavier than what I had anticipated it being. Okay. Wrapped it up good, that's for sure. Okay. I think this is sealed. It is. I guess I break out the Victorinox again. Yeah, this is really a storage room. It's a mess, but you know, in my defense, I was gonna spend this day cleaning this room out. This miner wasn't supposed to show up till tomorrow, and I thought, well, it's holidays, you know, of course it'll be late. Nope, it was early. Let me see if I can. Suppose. Let me set this up. I really have the best way to navigate this. I think I'm going to cut the top lengthwise. And once again, I always cut towards you. And once again, do not take advice from me. Yeah, when it comes to knives, don't do it. Okay. This bag, you know, I've watched unboxings of S19s before. It's not really the bag. There's a stench involved, and I'm not sure exactly what that stench is. I don't know if it's location specific to, you know, this comes from Singapore, and I'm assuming the manufacturing of this Bitcoin miner, I'm assuming that it was from Singapore or in Singapore. I don't think Singapore is just a warehousing facility. I'm gonna put this up. If I had to estimate how much this thing weighed, I'd say 45 pounds. Yeah, maybe close to 50. It's not light. Either that or I'm just getting real super weak. Okay. So this is the rear of the machine. Okay, let's see here. Alright, control board. Okay, this is the power unit here. And they've attached the power unit, which is kind of cool. Now it's got, I'm not blocking it. It's got two plugs here. Up here it's got an Ethernet port because you have to plug this into your router. I have a switch, but same difference. You need internet. Why this doesn't come with like wireless is beyond me in today's world, especially when you're charging over $2,000 for something. And then here, down here, well, this says IP port. Oh, it's a little switch for the IP. Okay. All right, IP report. And then down here is a little SD slot, like a mini SD slot. And that's it. That's you're looking at a Bitcoin or Bitmain, an Antminer S19K PRO, doing 120 terahash. Yeah, that's it. If you got any questions, let me know. I don't pretend to be an expert on any of this. My knowledge of mining Bitcoin is right about there. But I'll give you a little spoiler alert in my upcoming videos, probably the next one. Now that I've unboxed this, I'm going to break out the preacher bench as soon as I get a decent day. Hopefully soon, hopefully tomorrow. And I'm going to update you as to what my plans are Why I have said that this, if you were a fan of the real life video series, that you would dig where I'm going with this. Yeah, you know, here's the spoiler alert. Okay, how can I put this? This isn't scripted out for me, so let me go gentle. So the last several years of my life, most of you know, at least most of you who followed me know, that my life had been totally consumed with taking care of my mother, who had dementia. And I had promised her that I would keep her out of a nursing home, and by the grace of God, I was able to do that. But that was a long process. And if you've ever taken care of somebody with dementia, then you know that it was a rough ride, and changed me in a lot of ways, some for the better, some for the worse. But I'm now that my mom's been gone for a little while now, I'm starting to try to kind of like come back out of this, wear these glasses, out of this haze that I was in. So I just feel energy now that I hadn't had before, because it was tough. It was really tough. So anyway, I had done a lot of stuff in Kentucky, as if you followed me, you know. I sold timber, did coal deals, oil and gas deals, became a Kentucky colonel, you know, which was, yeah, proud moment in my life. So Kentucky is, and always has been, a very big part of my, you know, who I am, my fiber. And but I had stepped away from all of that for a very long time, because my life was 100% consumed with taking care of my mom. I mean, every diaper change, every spoon feeding, every bathing, everything was all on my shoulders, every bit of it. I had no substantial help from any family members at all. I was it. So anyway, coming back out of that funk, out of that haze, out of that depression, out of the everything that came along with what I had been dealing with, one day I'm watching a video, and I don't know how I happened upon it, other than to say that it was divine intervention, or, you know, the grace of God. I don't know. But it was about a guy who was in Canada, out in the middle of Nowheresville, Canada, and he was there, and he seen an oil well. And that oil well had, they were flaring the gas off. And not for nothing, I mean, there's no infrastructure out that far to get that gas out of there. So all the gas that well was producing was just being wasted. And it gave the guy an idea. One of the biggest complaints of Bitcoin miners is hard to make a profit at current prices of Bitcoin, because electricity prices are so high. So this guy had just a genius idea of going to the oil company and saying, hey, look, you're burning this gas off. And Canada had a few rules stating that you're only allowed to flare off so much gas, or let it blow, because a lot of times they wouldn't even set it up fire, they just let it blow. You're only allowed to do so much of that, and then you get fined, or you have to, you know. So this guy came up with this idea of approaching the oil company and saying, hey, why don't you let me attach a natural gas generator to your well, and I'll pay you for the natural gas. Genius, because they were just blowing it out into nowhere, or burning it out to nowhere. And now this guy, he put together a mining rig. I think he had 200-300 miners. Looked a lot like, he called it a skid, but it looked to be like a shipping container, like you would see on ships coming from overseas. And he had modified it, and he put, you know, different things to it. But anyway, he put a natural gas generator as part of it, and a transformer and all that stuff. And the next thing you know, he was mining Bitcoin really affordably. And a light bulb went off in my head. Just went off in my head. Now understand, I knew nothing about mining Bitcoin at that particular time. But a light bulb went off in my head, because if you know me at all, you know that I have gas wells on my property in southeast Kentucky. Yeah. And anyway, I don't want to ruin the next video, but that's a little bit of a spoiler for you as to where I'm going with this. But the one thing I did tell myself was, do not go into this half-cocked. I know you're excited about, you know, being able to charge headfirst into things, but relax and learn as much about Bitcoin mining as you can. Very important. How to mine Bitcoin, how much does it cost to mine Bitcoin, you know, electricity rates, because even if you convert the natural gas into electricity, you are going to want to know how much kilowatts are being used. I mean, you know, and that's going to be part of the video and why you need to know that. Or the next video, obviously, but yeah, I'm going to be back down in Kentucky. Unfortunately, here's another spoiler alert. No, I'm going to leave that for next video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I will see you. Peace!